Hey, Chandler Bolt here, and in this video I want to talk to you about the untold secret on why winners win, right? So this is maybe something that you've heard of before, but quite frankly, it doesn't get talked about a lot because it's not a sexy topic, but it does truly separate kind of the winners, the long-term winners, from the short-term successes or from the losers, right? So a lot of times we look in society, we see the uber successful entrepreneur or athlete or any of these things, and we think, how did this person get to be here? Right? They're not even that smart. They're not even that talented. You know, maybe they didn't grow up with money. Maybe they're not 6'5". You know, they don't have any of these natural advantages. So how are they winning and how am I not winning? Right? I know I've kind of another area of life is like, I've looked at like, okay, I'm working out, but how come that guy over there is jacked? Well, meanwhile, I have these puny arms, right? What's the difference? And why is that person more successful long term? Now, really, I want to incorporate a story, and then I've got three things that I think make the key difference. So I want to fast forward kind of, or rewind way back to when I was doing an internship called Student Painters. Now, this is an internship where they teach you how to run a business by running an exterior house painting business. So you paint houses during the summer. Now, I had it as my goal to be the #1 in the company and #1 in the country for the year that I did it out of all the interns. So I think there was maybe 250 interns in that class. Now, I ultimately, in the end, I won. I was the #1 in the country, and I beat the next closest person by, I think it was $16,000. So my business was about $102,000. I think theirs was $85,000. But here's the kicker. I was behind for almost the entire time, right? It was only at the very end did I separate myself, and that's what kind of this encapsulates. So I'll fast forward a little bit and then we'll get back kind of into the meat of it. But for years after that, some of the branch managers, as they called them, they would call me up and they'd say, Chandler, how did you get Entrepreneur of the Year last year? I want to do the same thing, right? So I'm just taking all these calls, repeating the same thing. And the thing that I told them and the thing that I'll tell you is that the long-term difference, here's a secret, it's consistency. Right? It's really boring. So there's this overlapping thing, and it's part of three fundamentals, but it's consistency. The people who win, they're not the people who just have a ton of inspiration and they go, from zero to hero, like we think that happens in a couple of months or maybe in a month or a year or something like that. It's the people who stick it out for the long term. Right? It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Maybe you've heard that quote. So the difference for me, so we did a training in February, then we have to go out and sell, go out and produce. The difference for me was in July and August and even into September. These were the last months of our season, and they're the times where people were burnt out. They're like, I deserve a vacation, I'm doing all these things, but I kept working. Right? And I finished stronger than everybody else. So my takeaway, I think, for you and for the people that I've talked to is it's very easy to get fired up when you first start something, right? The people who are going to win long term are the people who practice, right? If you're an athlete, you're practicing when you don't feel like it. If you're an entrepreneur, it's the crappy situations that come up where you've got an employee issue, you've got a customer issue, you're not inspired with the project that you're doing that you started 9 months ago that you thought would only take 2 months, but now it's 9 months in, it's over budget, you're not gonna make any money on it, but you need to finish it, right? Those are the things, those are the moments, in my opinion, where real winners are made. And that really encapsulates the three things that I think it takes to sustain long-term success and really that untold secret. So #1 is consistency. #2 is discipline, and #3 is work ethic, right? So you work harder than other people, you stay disciplined and stay the course all the way to the end, and then you consistently show up day in, day out. This is super, super important. Anybody can be inspired, anybody can make a little magic happen for a short period of time, but the reason I'm not as muscular as I might want to be, or that I look at other people and I say, oh, they're ripped, is because they've been in the gym over the course of years, right? The reason a lot of entrepreneurs are so successful is because they've been in the game for years. Even looking at my success right now, people don't see all the times where my bank accounts were negative, right? Where I had to borrow tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars from friends and family to end up buying out a business partner or to get out of debt or to launch the business. They don't see that, and that's a result of compounded success over time, right? It's consistency, it's work ethic, it's discipline. Anybody can be fired up when you first get started. How do you sustain that over time to be successful, okay? So that's really what I want to encourage you on is what are the areas maybe that you're lacking that work ethic, that discipline, that consistency, and how can you build those habits? I've got a lot of other videos on, 20-mile march, on different principles kind of like that really set you up for long-term success, but thinking this is a marathon, not a sprint, and how do I compound things long-term that are gonna make me successful, okay? So I hope that you like this video. As always, comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.